Hi, this is Joel Johnson. Welcome back to our Johnson Brunetti YouTube channel. And today we're talking about the fact that October is Financial Planning Month. Now, before we get into our topic today, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and also click on the little bell icon, because that way you'll get notified whenever we publish new content, new segments. We always want to be adding value to you, so make sure you get notified when we do that. So, October, Financial Planning Month. Obviously, there's a need, if somebody named October Financial Planning Month, there's a need for people to be aware of the importance of financial planning. You know, there's some amazing statistics out there, and I would just be saying this off the top of my head, but I think the average American now has only $100,000 saved for retirement. Many of us are living very comfortable lives, not necessarily wasting money, but living pretty darn comfortable lives. But if you think about what you're going to get for Social Security, what you're going to get maybe for other income sources, and you take $100,000 only is going to generate probably maybe $4,000 per month. So for most of us, we haven't saved enough for retirement. Most Americans just have not saved enough for retirement. So what does that mean? Well, we've named October Financial Planning Month, and let's talk a little bit about what is a financial plan. Some people think a financial plan has to be that 120-page binder. Some of you have gone through this process where you sit down with a financial advisor, you go through all these questions, you're trying to plan out every little nickel of income you're going to have for the rest of your life, and you come back for a second or third meeting, they walk you through this binder. By the time they're done with this 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, 2 hour meeting of walking you through this binder, you're so overwhelmed, your mind is so clogged with information that you don't take any action. That's a big problem in my business, in the business that we have of financial planning, and trying to get people to take steps to do the right thing at the right time. I think it's a huge problem when we overwhelm you with information. So I think a financial plan should be simple enough for you to understand, yet at the same time, it needs to be actionable enough and detailed enough for you to have confidence in it. And that's different things for different people. So when we answer that question, what is a financial plan? It's a plan that's good for you. It's a plan that allows you to take the right action steps, but to have the confidence that as long as you take those steps, that you will have a comfortable financial future. Typically, a financial plan consists of a number of things, and it can be as little as 3 things. One is some type of we call ours a money map, but some type of a map or a nice visual that shows you where your savings are, where your income is, and where that savings and income are going to come from in the future, or I should say where your savings is going to generate income in the future. That could be one component of a financial plan, where you stand right now. Another component of a financial plan would be based on what you want in retirement or based on what your goals, are you on track to get there? So it's a snapshot on time that says, are you doing the right thing? So again, that's component number 2. Am I on track? Component number 3 could be, let's take an income projection, go out for the rest of my life. Let's look out for the rest of my life and see what kind of income can I generate? Because remember, the biggest concern people have is, am I going to run out of money? And I would say the second question you need to answer after you answer the question, am I going to run out of money, is what rate of return do I need on my investments? So again, this is all part of having a good financial plan. And then I would say a risk analysis of your investments that you've already set aside. How is your money invested? Does it coordinate with the amount of risk that you want to take, that you can handle? Some people can handle a lot of risk. Maybe they have a high income. Maybe they have more of a risk-taking mentality. Other people probably can't handle much risk at all. And the problem is, if they get into a position where they take too much risk, they'll get spooked out of the stock market or out of mutual funds at the worst possible time. I'll tell you a personal story. My wife, Wendy, is not a risk taker at all. As a matter of fact, sometimes we look at either and go, how did this ever work? Because I'm a complete risk taker. It's one of the reasons why I built the company that we built. And she just doesn't want any risk. For instance, she's never driven in the car with any of my kids. She's so nervous about them driving and crashing into something, she won't drive in the car with any of my kids. My kids have jumped out of airplanes. One of them's in the Marine Corps. There's just a complete opposite, and I'm probably more on their side of things than I am on her side of things. So sometimes you have to talk things through if you have a couple or a spouse that financial plan. So again, getting off track here a little bit, but what is a financial plan? It's an income projection. It's a snapshot on time of where you're at. It's answering that question, am I gonna run out of money, and how much risk am I taking in that portfolio? That's the information that's included in a financial plan. Who needs a financial plan? I would say everyone. From time to time, because of the segments that you've seen me do on TV or a radio program, we'll get calls from somebody that's just really on the verge of bankruptcy. They've borrowed much more than they can ever pay off. They come in, they say, listen, I don't have any investments at all, but can you just help me get on track? That's, in a sense, a financial plan. It might not be the same financial plan that you have. You might have investments, you might have future sources of income, but everybody needs a financial plan, whether it's you and the amount of money that you've saved and your goals, whether it's somebody that has a lot of money. And this is another misnomer, that very, very wealthy people almost all have financial advisors. They actually control their finances many times a lot less than people of modest means. So wealthy people not a financial plan, average Americans need a financial plan, and certainly people that are in financial trouble need some type of a financial plan to get out of that trouble. What does a financial advisor do? Here's a question that I think sometimes when people come in to see us for the first time and we're going through that planning process with them, they're a little scared to ask, well, what do you do and how do you earn your money? Here's the main job as I see it, and this is the philosophy of our company in what a financial planner should do. A financial planner should give you confidence in your financial future, and they should remove the fear and uncertainty that you have over your financial future. They should give you confidence and remove fear. That's what a financial planner should do. And I mentioned way at the beginning of this segment about these binders that some of you have had done, where you get this financial plan, it's 100 pages, 150 pages. Most of the time, getting into that much analytical detail doesn't solve that emotional problem that most of us have, which is we need to have confidence in what lies ahead, and we need to remove the fear, because fear can be overwhelming and we won't make the right decision usually when we're very fearful or very stressed. So number one, a financial advisor should remove the fear that you have about your financial future and give you confidence. What are the components of that? Again, things like a retirement income plan, things like, are you taking too much risk? Things like, what's the next short-term step and what's the long-term goal? That periodic review, whether it's every year or every few years, to make sure you're on track. A financial planner should be doing all of that, but again, it should be giving you confidence and it should be removing fear. And then when do you get a financial plan? You should, I believe, and I use my family as an example. I have a son, graduated from college in 2020, right in the midst of COVID. So he's now 3 years into his work career, and we've actually done a financial plan for him. So in his case, we did a financial plan when he was 24 years old. We have some people coming into our office 5 years before retirement. They've never worked with a financial advisor. They've never had a financial plan. They've just saved money. So that's a good time to do a financial plan. So when is now? Wherever you're at in life, do a financial plan. It can be a simple one. It doesn't have to be super detailed, but wherever you're at in life, do a financial plan. And again, a lot of people come in, they say, well, I'm not ready to do a financial plan with a financial planner because I'll be embarrassed. I haven't saved enough money. Or I'm worried about how I measure up with other people that are in my situation. There's so many reasons that can go through some of our minds about why not to do a financial plan. A financial plan does not have to be sophisticated. The financial advisor you talk to certainly should not make you feel bad about where you're at. Again, it should give you confidence. But if you can leave someone's office, even if you don't pay for the plan, even if you don't invest any money with them, if you can leave a financial advisor's office with something in your hand, whether it's 7 pages or 70 pages, preferably fewer pages, that give you the confidence to be on track and have you something, that you have something to go back and keep score with and see if you're on track or not, that will give you a lot of power that's now in your hands instead of somebody else's hands as far as your financial future. So let's review real quick. What is a financial plan? It should give you a snapshot in time today, and it should give you an idea of how to get to where you want to go in the future. What information is included? An income projection, a risk analysis of your particular portfolio, and some type of a simple document that shows, preferably on one page, exactly where you're at. Who needs a financial plan? Everybody. I don't care if you're rich or you're broke or you're in between, young or old. Everybody should have some type of a plan. It doesn't have to be super detailed, but some type of a plan. It will give you more confidence. And then what does a financial planner do? I just mentioned the word confidence. They should give you confidence in what lies ahead. They should remove fear from your financial future. When do you want that plan? Now. Whether you're 25 years old or 85 years old, you should have a financial plan now that, again, gives you confidence in what lies ahead. When we're talking about financial planners or financial advisors, it's really important we understand this concept of fiduciary. What is a fiduciary? Because not all financial advisors are fiduciaries. A fiduciary is somebody that must act in your best interest. The opposite of that is somebody who's perhaps a stockbroker or a salesperson, and they're only acting in an interest where they won't harm you. See, there's a different degree there. One is fiduciary, where they have to act in your absolute best interest. The other is, well, as long as they sell a product that doesn't hurt you, that's perfectly fine, but it may not have been the best fit. So a fiduciary, again, must act in your best interest. As a certified financial planner, they have a certain conduct or a certain standard of conduct that we have to act in because we are fiduciaries as certified financial planners. And the board will kick us off the certified financial planner designation, or that group of financial advisors, if you will, if we don't follow that standard. Also, there are standards in our industry. The regulators have certain standards for fiduciary. So we must act in your best interest. Let's use another example. Let's say that you go to a butcher shop, and you're going to a butcher shop and you're going to ask the butcher, hey, what should I buy? What should I do here? Well, they're going to tell you to buy meat, right? Some type of meat, because that's what they sell. They sell meat. So, there's that old saying, if the only tool you have is a hammer, then everything begins to look like a nail. Well, if you go to a butcher and you ask, what should I do? He's going to say, buy meat. Some financial advisors, they only sell one product. And again, that's not an example of a fiduciary. A fiduciary is a little bit like a dietitian, very different than a butcher. You're going to go, they're going to do an analysis of your situation, they're going to talk about goals, they're going to talk about health, and you're going to get a custom dietary plan based on your situation and certain goals from an expert that knows about everything. That's a little bit like a fiduciary. Again, they'll analyze your situation, they'll act in your best interest, where a stockbroker or a financial salesperson just has a certain menu of products to sell, and that's what they have to use. So it's very important to find a fiduciary. There are a lot of financial planners out there. Some do a really good job. Unfortunately, some do not do a good job. Find somebody that you feel comfortable with. It's a little bit like a relationship with a physician. When we were raising our kids, my wife would actually prefer to talk to the physician's assistant versus the actual doctor, because the doctor never had a lot of time. The physician's assistant took all the time in the world with my wife when she was discussing my kids' health issues and so on. And so she had this bond with the physician's assistant. That's a little bit like what you want with a financial planner. That bond, that feeling that they understand you, that they'll take the time, but they'll also answer the hard questions and push you in the right direction. So, October, financial planning month. Make sure you have your financial plan in place. We really appreciate you tuning into our YouTube channel. Remember, subscribe to this channel and also click on the bell icon so that you get notified when we publish new content. Thanks for being with us.